Getting ready to leave on the honor flight. Are you excited?
I thought it sounded like a really cool idea.
Gonna have a good time, aren't we?
I really wasn't prepared for what it was emotionally when I went through it.
Love you.
Hi, I'm David. I work in claims, and I was a guardian for my father on his honor flight. The honor flight, they take a group of veterans to Washington, D.C. for a tour of the monuments and just to be honored for their service. Dad he joined the Navy in 1945. He and his twin brother were 17 years old. They were still in high school. They wanted to be a part of it. As they were on their way to their basic training, they heard on the radio that the war in the Pacific had ended. If that hadn't happened, they likely would have been part of the Japanese invasion. They completed their training and actually worked in Virginia at a naval base there, and part of their job was guarding German prisoners that were waiting to be sent back to their homeland. The World War II veterans are getting pretty old, and Dad is 95, and he surprised me when he said that he would go. He was pretty overwhelmed by it all. Just the respect that everywhere we went, whether it was in an airport or in DC, going to the different memorials, there were other people there, obviously tourists and people that live and work in Washington, DC. Just the way they would come up to them and shake their hand and thank them for their service and that type of thing. It was, I spent a lot of time with tears in my eyes, and I'm getting them again just talking about it, but I was joking with Dad later. I said, I kind of felt like I was with a celebrity all day, Dad. But just seeing the respect and the appreciation people had for the veterans was really, really overwhelming. There was a group of ladies there. They're called the Ladies of Liberty. They dress in uniform and they sing a lot of songs from that era. There was one moment there at the Iwo Jima Memorial where they asked him what his favorite song was. They gathered around him and sang.
Beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above.
It really overwhelmed him, I could tell.
God bless America, my home, sweet home.
It was just an emotional day. One of the cool things they do on the honor flight, they call it mail call. They ask the guardians to reach out to the veterans' relatives and friends and say, why don't you send them a letter thanking them for their service or a card thanking them for their service. Dad's 95 years old. He's outlived a lot of his relatives and friends. So I reached out to my friends, and I reached out to Ann Burke, state office admin here in claims, and she kind of took it from there. His mailbag had so much mail in it from people at the state office, from the regional offices. It was very overwhelming. And I've tried to thank everybody individually. If I can thank everybody on here, it was so appreciated. Dad was really overwhelmed. Anne Marie Franklin, her brother is a Kentucky colonel and he's also a veteran. He came up and he presented my dad with a Kentucky colonel certificate, which really touched Dad. I really appreciated that. That's Kentucky Farm Bureau, right? We talk about it a lot and it seems like maybe it's overused, but it really is a family. I can't imagine spending 34 years anywhere else.